What's up, everyone? I hope you are all getting excited for Path of Exile 2, which is coming out tomorrow for early access. Today is Thursday, the eve of it, and I've been making a lot of videos about the Tri-Stack Slayer, Frenzy of Onslaught Slayer that I've been working on this league, and hopefully you've seen some of those other videos I made about him. I've been talking to a couple different people in-game that were interested in the build and wanted some pointers, and one of them had been asking about getting it going on a budget. So I had the goal of making a very, very budget version of this. And please keep in mind, I have not put a ton of time into this. This was very throw stuff together. I think you could tune this to be way better than what I've done here. But this was just kind of rushed. And I rushed it, and then I just checked, is it decent? And if it wasn't, then I would try to tune it a little bit better, but it is decent. So right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you, to me it seems decent. So this is like, you want to jump into the Tri-Stack Slayer, charge stacking all three charges, but you don't have, it's like league start, you don't have any budget. So hopefully we're all so busy with Path of Exile 2 that when the next league start for POE 1 comes out, maybe we don't want to play it because we're so obsessed with POE 2. But I think, if I had to guess, I think a lot of us are going to be jumping back and forth between POE 1 and POE 2, between the league starts. So this is like, it depends on how much you play. This might be like after a week of play or even 2 weeks of play, and you probably would want to start with what I would say like a FUB gun. Lightning Strike would be pretty viable as a league start to just start farming some currency until you want to transition to this Tri-Stack Slayer. So let's look at the gear first. I tried to literally spend the least amount of currency as possible, like literally the least amount. And so lots and lots of uniques, and obviously some of these uniques on the first week can be very expensive, and then they just plummet in price. So the thing you need the most is going to be the Rallakash boots, the Badge of the Brotherhood, and the Ephemeral Edge. Ephemeral Edge shouldn't be too expensive, I don't think. This Ephemeral Edge has nothing on it. It's got a pretty good roll on the max energy shield. This is one I literally just had picked up off the ground this league. It was in my my bank. So there's no corruptions, nothing special. Same with the Badge of the Brotherhood. I don't even have an anoint, so I'm missing a bunch of power because I'm saying that I was so cheap that I didn't even anoint. My Rallakash boots, literally just middle of the road Rallakash boots, nothing special, no corruptions. So that's kind of the base. Now probably the expensive part of the build is a Crown of Ice with +1 maximum power charge. Depends on the day. I think right now they're going for like 1 divine. At some points they might be going for 10 divine. It just depends on how popular things are. But you could always just buy a bunch of Crown of Eyes and just literally evolve them. I think on average 24 tries or something. Maybe it's 100. I don't remember, but I don't think that a base Crown of Eyes sells for very much. So give that a shot too. But you really just need to save up. You want to save up for all of these parts, and you want to buy some things early and some things late. The things that you definitely want to buy late are things like the Rallakash boots, because the price is just going to really go down. Sorry if there's ringing in the background. My phone's ringing. Sorry about that noise, but I digress. So let's just keep going here through all the parts. I picked up these rings. They're very similar, and all I did was go on the trade site and look for int, energy shield, and 2 resists, because I'm going to be starved for resist with all these uniques on. And I found both of these rings that had a decent chunk of all of those things, and they also had an open prefix, which is very important, so that you can craft non-channeling skills have -7 to total mana cost. That's really nice to have, so that your Frenzy of Onslaught is really cheap to cast. So like I'm down to 13 mana cost now to swing my sword. And you can see I have a lot of mana reserved here, so it's important to get that cost down. Okay, let's keep going through the parts. So we are grabbing a Malachai's Loop, and these are I don't know about you guys, but I think I dropped like 50 of these this league, and I'm not a blaster. So this is a very common drop, and it's so much power. 2 power charges for cheap, so it's great. And sorry, I didn't even mention prices on things. So like these rings, I bought them for, I think one for 50C or 40C, and the other one I think was 80C. So, it's the end of a dead league. Are those prices going to be what it's going to be like at League Start? I don't know. I can't tell you, but one of them has critical strike implicit, which is great. The other one has life, which does literally nothing. I am using a replica Restless Ward. Please ignore the corruption. This was literally something I just had in my bank laying around. This shouldn't be expensive, and I just thought this would be simpler to get something going because I had 6 white sockets, and then I wouldn't have to worry about like experimenting for you guys. So ignore the white socket thing. But as you guys know, 6-link can be expensive at the beginning of the league, so this could still cost a divine or so, just because of the pure fact that it might be 3 divine even because it's a 6-link. But you could probably, I shouldn't say probably, you could most definitely get by with a 5-link on this character. So the last thing for gear, there's 2 more things left. We've got a Graven Secret, and this was literally just the cheapest one that was available on the trade site. And if I remember correctly, I think when the league was actually busier earlier in the league, I think these were only like 20C, 40C. They're not expensive. And I had to buy this for 100C because I think simply for the fact that it's dead league right now and no one's selling them. But my understanding is these are never expensive. But you're getting an extra power charge from this belt, and you're also getting a bunch of absorption charges, which are amazing for tankiness. They're awesome. Of course, you can't. If you could afford a Mage Blood, of course you'd want a Mage Blood, but you can't. So I think another runner-up for this slot would probably be a really nice rolled Tides of Time, and going with some, maybe let's say you're going to transition and like get rare gloves, rare chest piece. You get some resists on your chest, resists on your gloves, and you could open this up for a Tides of Time, and then you could use a bunch of different unique flasks and probably be super strong. I think that would just be a big step up, but that's also more expensive. So like I said, trying to go cheap. So I went with Surge Binders. These were like 10C or something, and I specifically was looking for a pair that had the elemental damage increase and the spell damage per power charge. And the reason for that is, so spell damage does matter on this build because you have spell damage here. You have the Crown of Eyes that gives increases in reductions to spell damage also apply to attacks at 150% of the value, which is beautiful. And I guess I totally forgot to say this. I have 11 charges, which is really good. So my Tri-Stack Slayer, my endgame amazing one, had 13 charges, and I was able to get to 11, super close on a shoestring budget. So I mentioned I'm using all these uniques, and so I'm star for resists. So the flasks are a big deal. So I have a sapphire, a ruby, a topaz, and even a bismuth. And then one of these flasks has additional all res on them, and to go with all that. And with all of these flasks going at once, I'm able to get, I think it's like 80 all resist. But the problem is they're not always up all the time. So you are a little bit susceptible to some damages when they're not all going. And then I also have a silver flask here. As far as the other things I have going, I have stun and block recovery. I have 67% on this flask. And then I have the belt gives me another 25. So I'm close to 100%. I'm not really noticing getting stunned too often. Then I have regen here, which is going to work with my Eldritch Battery. I think if I said that correctly, but I get that as energy shield regen, and that's a lot, so that's nice to have. I have immunity to corrupted blood, which I'm going to need, right? I have a movement speed on this one, and I have the Ellie res on this last one. So let's look at the tree. My Pantheon's the same that I've been using for all my other builds. I'm doing Lunaris and Takahama, but my tree is super empty, guys. Like, I have so much room of things. I literally just threw stuff out at this, right? As I mentioned, I didn't anoint, so I'm literally going from my starting spot. This is very inefficient. I'm going all the way around, and I have a jewel slot here I could take. I'm taking the overcharge here as well as the infused here. It'd be much more efficient to anoint something and either skip this side of the tree and kind of go up the middle, or to anoint this and maybe not take these points over here. There's literally no large clusters, which are tons of power, especially for attack speed. I'm going to keep saying this. I'm sandbagging the hell out of this build for you guys just to show if it's viable. And I'll show you a demonstration, but it's fine. I feel like it's fine. I still have some tattoos left over. This is just because I don't want to scour them off, but it shouldn't be affecting anything too much. But I literally have like empty jewel socket here, empty jewel socket here. I haven't put all this character's level 100, and I purposely didn't put all the points in because I want to simulate more of being like around level late 80s. But you could be way more powerful than this, even at like level 85, if you were more efficient with your tree and your pathing, and you picked some other better stuff, and you had some jewels in, and you anointed. But I do want to mention I have a Sublime Vision here with 39%. So that might be, I think they should only be a couple Divine Early League, because Discipline's not really a popular one. Now, if this video, for whatever reason, got popular, it could be more popular next league, but I don't think that's going to happen because my channel's not popular. What else? Is there a Watcher's Eye in here maybe? I have a Watcher's Eye, which, sorry, this person keeps calling me all the time. This is not going to be an expensive Watcher's Eye. The implicits on this are just nothing burgers, and it doesn't even have a 6% roll in the ES, and then I'm really just getting the block, and I'm getting the regen. So this is just a 2-mod Watcher's Eye, really. And then, do I have any other jewels? I don't think I do, because I have all these empty jewel sockets. Just double checking. Yeah, no cluster jewels. Yeah, there's so much room. There's so much room here, guys. So I think I covered all the gear. Oh, the gems. Talk about going dirt cheap. Seriously. The only skill gem I bought from the trade site on this is the Frenzy of Onslaught, and it was a level 4 when I bought it. And I've only ran like 4 maps maybe and got it up to level 12. But everything else I literally bought from Lily, and there's no quality. It's all just like, look, level 10, level 9, level 13, level 14, level 8, level 4. Like, this is literally the only, Enlighten 3. Sorry, that's the only other gem that I bought. So Enlighten 3, I actually didn't buy it. I just had one laying around, and it's the cheapest. You know, it's corrupted already, so the person whiffed on the corrupt. It's just a level 3. So Frenzy of Onslaught is the only other gem I bought. Everything else, I literally went over to Lily, and I said, yo, give me a level 1. That's it. And I immediately jumped into a Uber Cortex map to see what would happen, and I got destroyed because I literally was just full of level 1s. And then I jumped into, went to Kirak and said, yo, give me a yellow mission. And I was able to finish that, leveled a bunch of gems up a little bit more. Went to him again, said, yo, give me a red mission. Did that, no problem. This T16 map, second map with like level 5 gems. Did it, no problem. And then I said, give me he had like an Elder Guardian map or something like that, which is this right here. And it seems like no problem too. So one thing I did change though is I initially had Endurance Charge on Melee Sun support. I took it out and swapped it for Melee Splash support. In a perfect world, you might have like an Aureus End Flask to get splash damage, but I just threw this splash damage in instead, and it felt so much better having the splash damage. So I'm just going to jump back into this map. It's like half finished, I'd say. And let's just give you guys a quick demonstration of what the build feels like. So again, this is a T16 Guardian map. This isn't like, you know, the just easy mode. This isn't just like a white T16 or anything like that. This is literally a Guardian map. T16 red. So I think that this, considering the budget, your gems, if you actually level this, your gems would be way higher. You probably even have level 20 gems by now. You would have money to make quality gems. You know, you'd be in much better shape than me, I think, if you were actually doing this. Okay, I actually know that the boss door is over here. I have no idea if I'm gonna like die on him, but I think based on how the map was going that it should be fine. Alright, let's put a portal down just in case. And let's level up our gems. Splash, Assassin's Mark, Wave of Conviction, Tempest Shield, Arctic Armor, Faster Attacks, Purifying Flame, Multi-Strike, Mark on Hit, Cast and Damage, Volatility, Power, Charge and Crit, another Crit, and Lightning to Fizz to Lightning. Okay, so we're looking good there. I haven't looked at POE at all, so I'll probably do that to end this video, because I actually don't know what my damage is or my tankiness. I just really rushed this, but I would just say it feels fine. You know, if I was playing this early league, I'd be very happy. I've had much worse characters than this on the early league, like week 1, week 2. wish I was in my Sigil of Power here, but he jumped away. Let's put a new one. There we go. Jumped away again. Come on, jerk. What, is he snaring me? Yeah, looks like he's got some snare. I'm not killing him fast, but he's also not hurting me, which is the nice thing, right? I only have 5,000, yes, but I'm pretty tanky. I have absorption charges. You can see it up here, absorption charges. Very, very nice to have. Well, I just bragged about being tanky and then got one shot. That was weird. Probably wouldn't have got one shot if I had my Frost Shield. Oh, it's my Flasks. That's such a hard thing about not having Mage Blood. Okay, so that is one thing I never thought about yet. And like I said, I haven't played this a whole lot. But when your Flasks are down, your tankiness is way down too. So I'm going to turn my Flasks on right here. But I'm not able to sustain my Flasks very well in a boss fight. Okay, I think we'll still beat it. I just need to pay attention to my Flasks a little bit more. We got this. We got this. Yes, he went back into my Sigil of Power. Cool. So we did it. You know, I died a couple times, and that could have been frustrating if I was leveling up and trying to get XP. But also probably wouldn't be doing Guardians and stuff like that if that's what I was trying to level up. I think for a seat of the pants, just throw it together type of build. You know, just throw something at the wall and see if it sticks. I think it's sticking, and I do think there's so much room to fine tune this better. But the bigger idea is, like, if you're gonna do this and this is the bare bones, you're just gonna be constantly upgrading. So, okay, what am I gonna upgrade first? I'm probably gonna want rare armor. I'm gonna want some rare gloves. I'm gonna be always looking for an ephemeral edge with attack speed, implicit, corrupted implicit, and fortify and hit. If you can get them together, even better. If you can get the enchant for attack speed, even better. You know, is there maybe a rare belt or a Tides of Time that might work really well with some unique flasks? That would be really awesome. I think you can just get by with any Relicash boots for a long time, any Malachai's loop for a long time, and you definitely want to get a good badge of the Brotherhood if you can with if you can get the curse, additional curse, you'll be rocking. But you definitely want to do an anoint. That's like probably even the first thing on here is to maybe get the anoint going, and then you're just saving for a Mage Blood. So if you can find some content that makes you a lot of money, I know something like essences would be really good for this, because essences, you have to be tanky. You don't necessarily need to be in a big rush. You just need to not die, and you need to be able to kill the things and not die. So you know, boss rushing, essences. There's probably some other things I'm not thinking of, maybe harvest. But you just need to save up money and save up for Mage Blood and maybe flip stuff, do some crafting, flipping crafts, maybe doing some just flipping of other stuff through the marketplace. But I'm going to call it a day. You guys probably already know to make your currency. You might want to just stick with Lightning Strike for a longer period of time until you have the Mage Blood and then do this build. But all right, so I just want to throw a little bit of POB information at you guys real quick. So I had already recorded this like 3 different times in 3 different ways, and I think it's just a lot faster for me to just give you a very quick summary of what the POB stuff is, rather than fiddling with the POB with you guys for like 5 to 10 minutes. I'll save you guys the time. So I just leveled all the skill gems up to level 20, or if I can't, let's just say like the warning goes off because I don't have enough strength, for instance. I went as high as I possibly could, and then I also added quality 20 to every single skill gem. So just like 20 or lower, right? And my damage went from under 1 million damage to over 3 million. And that's with some things turned off. My effective hit pool is also all the way up to 80k. And I think it was at like 60k. So if I turn Immortal Call back on, my effective hit pool goes up to over 100k. And if I go into my configuration here and I put Frost Shield stage 4, like I'm really trying to cheese the numbers up as high as possible. And my Sigil power at stage 4, my damage goes up to 4 million. And my effective hit pool goes all the way up to 230k. So that's pretty good. And I'm also not even saying I'm shocking. I probably am shocking for at least 20. I wasn't paying attention, but as your damage goes up, like for instance, I'm only at the demo I'm about to show you, I'm only at 1 million damage during the demo because my gems aren't leveled up yet. The higher your damage goes, the more you're shocking. So I'm just gonna throw a 20 in here for fun, and you can see the damage goes up to almost 5 million. So all I'm saying is I'm really sandbagging in the demo, and my damage in the demo is it's like slightly less than 1 million, and my effective hit pool is only about 60k when my flasks are on. So there's so much room to grow in this build between just throwing an anoint and getting skill gems a little bit better with quality, that I do think this is a pretty viable early league option. Hope you guys enjoyed just a little bit of idea here, and have a good one.